Gather around, kids. It's story time. Once upon a time, in a hypothetical world where cats and sheep can shoot lasers out of their eyes, a proud cat challenges a humble sheep to a race. The race course is set. The two animals must displace themselves. That is, travel from one point to another, 8,000 meters to the east. This is different from a distance, because distance is a scalar measurement of how far something travels, which means it has no direction. So on the day of the race, the two hopeful animals lined up at the starting line. They would start at the exact same time being the moment when an event occurs, which the squid will record. 3, 2, 1, and off they go. The sheep run slow and steady, in uniform motion, at an average velocity of 1 meter per second east. The average velocity would be the movement or displacement of something in a given time. This is different from speed because it has a direction. So while the sheep is running at his measly pace, the cat sped ahead, his average velocity a whopping 11 meters per second east. He would speed ahead for 600 seconds, traveling a distance of 6,600 meters. At that point, the cat, confident that the sheep is far behind, smelled a faint odor coming from the west. Indeed, it was catnip. The cat decides he has plenty of time, so he goes to the west to find it, walking at a pace of about 1.4 meters per second. Finally, he finds the catnip after walking 2,600 meters, wolfs it down, and probably falls asleep. Meanwhile, our sheep friend continues on at a pace of 1 meter per second. And after about 7,700 seconds, just over 2 hours, he finds himself only 300 meters from the finish line. At this time, the cat wakes up, and with his supervision, sees that the sheep is far ahead. He races forward at the same pace he started with, or 11 meters per second, but watches in vain as the sheep inches past the line at the 8,000 second mark.
Oh, for shame. How could the speedy cat possibly lose the race? After all, his average velocity was much higher than the sheep's, and it took the sheep 8,000 seconds to finish the race. But even though he was faster than the sheep, he slept for over an hour without moving, so that the sheep was able to run far past him. That way, once he woke up, the sheep was only 300 meters away from the finish line, and him 4,000. So there was no way of him catching up then. Here's a graph showing their displacement in the race, the vertical axis being the meters traveled east, and the horizontal axis being the time in seconds. The blue line shows the cat, and the black line shows the sheep. As you can see, the cat's slope was much steeper at the start, meaning he was much faster. But once he started sleeping here, his slope was 0. On the other hand, the sheep went on a constant motion westwards, and his slope is straight through the whole race. And to add on to that, the cat traveled westward when he was finding the catnip, meaning that in the time from the start of the race to when he slept, he traveled a total distance of 9,200 meters.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
But that was 6,600 meters east, and 2,600 meters west, meaning that his displacement from the start of the race was only 4,000 meters east, as you can see from the graph here. And so, dear children, that is why slow and steady wins the race.